And we are live. Okay, so this is just a quick proof of concept video to run through some of the hardware that we've got set up for live streaming. I'm going to run through this as quickly as possible. In previous kind of iterations of this, it's kind of stretched to 15 and 8 minutes and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and be a little bit quicker about what I'm doing here. We have a 2-camera setup. So we have a camera that I'm looking at just now. We also have a second camera, which I will just loop in just now. Okay, so that's the camera that's right down here, and it's pointing at the laptop and obviously my pretentious Pantone coloured designer mug. So that's the 2 cameras that we've got. Let me just transition myself back in. We are also able to use software to loop in other elements. So for example, we can loop in simply the desktop, or rather the monitor that we're working from, not the monitor, the window that we're working from. So this is me showing off the OBS software. It gets a little bit meta here because we're kind of live streaming and we are showing you the software that we're using to live stream. So you can see it kind of disappears in this kind of infinity mirror kind of style on the right hand window of that. So just to pull me back in, we can also do things like adding lower thirds to this. So let me just bring that graphic up. So yeah, so you can see here, you now know who you're speaking to, which is obviously Alasdair Currie from X, Y, and Z Creative. Let me just bring that out. I should say I do apologise for kind of splitting my attention between the camera and the laptop. What I'm trying to do here is present and produce it at the same time. That obviously requires me to kind of have my eyes all over the place. So I do apologise if I'm not always looking at the camera. Next thing we can do is, in addition to those kind of lower thirds, we can go a little bit more advanced than that, and we can add in all angles. So what you've got is me in the box here. So if it's important to see the presenter still, which if you're doing training projects, for example, it sometimes is. Also allows you to see, if you look at on the right hand side, the kind of the top half of it, you can see the window, and you can also see in the lower part of the right hand side the other camera. So this means that you can actually have both presenters on screen at the same time in their own individual little boxes, and also show the video that's going on at the same time of the desktop. So let me just bring myself back into here. So that's a very, very quick overview of this. We also had the ability to show things, for example, the looped video, which you will have seen at the start. That was just a branding exercise. I do apologise for that. It's not actually been specifically designed for the video for this purpose. So when I'm using it in this kind of scene setting circumstances, you hopefully should come up again in the near future. Because the brightness changes so dramatically, you get a wee kind of lighting change from the automatic settings in the camera, and also the focus as a result of that. But you can also bring that looped video onto the main screen, so I'll just do that very quickly whilst keeping myself in the screen. So if I just bring that in, you can obviously see that brings in the video. I'll just transition that back out again. And we can also do things like bringing up the full monitor as well. So this is me bringing in exactly what you will be seeing on my desktop. So again, very meta because you've got this infinity thing going on right hand side. But it means that if you kind of on an ad hoc basis want to bring up something, for example, the internet, we could do that. So this is me bringing it up. Bring up YouTube and maybe visit channel and just verify that things are working in terms of the live stream. So if I go to my channel, let's get that loading up. Does that work? Yep. You can actually see that the live stream is going on already. You can see it says live now. I mean, what you'll probably find is that this is lagging a wee bit because obviously you have to operate sort of on a buffering perspective. So yeah, so that's going on quite nicely there. You can see the lag there. That's us just going into YouTube. You also have on this side, you've got the chats. Again, this will be lagging a wee bit, but I'll just post in a quick comment. You can see how that sort of displays. The video will hopefully catch up with that a wee bit, and it shows how kind of you can get that interactivity with the with viewers going. I'll stick with this just for a little bit longer. In fact, you can see just now already you've got the the viewing, the chat element there, and you can see the cursor now beginning to work on that. So that's it beginning to catch up a wee bit. So yeah, so that's what you can do with the being able to share the full monitor. So I'm just going to transition myself back into this. So I'm just going to run through everything very quickly again. 2 camera setup with the camera 1, which is the kind of establishing shot, the presenter shot, 2 camera. And we also have the hands only shot, just to transition that in and out. We can also add creative elements to that, for example, lower thirds, in and out. We can do more advanced sort of layouts with multi-angles and multi-screens being part of this. Transition that back out, and we can do the full we can do desktop only, or rather window only. So that brings in the software that we're working in. And we can also do the full monitor, which we've just shown you. So yeah, that gives you a full kind of idea of what we can do. So I'm just going to wrap up now and to go to looped intro. Hopefully this gives you an idea. This was all brought together in a relatively fuss-free manner. It's allowed me to be able to demonstrate something very quickly. It's very good for use in training, in brand awareness, in customer engagement, in partner engagement. It can be used internally, it can be used to an external source, it can be set up privately, it can be set up publicly, you can build campaigns around it. But really the purpose of doing something like this is to reduce the sort of lag between producing content and that content being available to the viewing public. That proximity, that sort of narrowing of the proximity between the user and the consumer, the presenter and the consumer of the information, really is the direction of travel when it comes to kind of modern communications. And it's one that I think that many of my clients hopefully will be able to sort of benefit from and be able to use it to further their business interests. So that gives you a good wee oversight of it. I'm just going to cut to the outro, and I look forward to speaking to you about this software at your next convenience. Thanks very much.